All right, let me know when we're good.
We're live.
All right, we're live. Fantastic.
Gentlemen, we're back. The rundown. Sheldon, Ziggy, how are you guys doing?
We're back, baby.
Fantastic.
We did it. We're here. And it's fitting. January 5th, January 6th, tomorrow. Nothing better than the rundown return to uplift our spirits on the 6th. Show coming back. What are we doing here? How'd we get here? How'd this happen? What have we been up to?
So I don't know if I saw anyone mention this, but the very last segment of the last KMS, not the best of, obviously, of 2023. Do you guys remember what it was?
I don't.
It was Kirk leading the guys in the singing of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." It was like the highest of high, and then just came crashing down. So it's pretty fitting, like perfect encapsulation of KMS.
That's it. And everybody, and we figured probably, I mean, Sheldon texted me on the side. He's like, hey, listen, there's not enough content. There's not enough shows. There's not enough wrap-up shows about KMS. So we might as well do this thing, right? Like this is perfect.
I haven't seen any, to be honest with you. So
nothing going on at all.
No.
Are we going to be on the network? Because I've seen the tweets, Ziggy. Menner's, he's not asking us to be on the network, so I don't know what we're going to do.
Yeah, he's not asking, so I think if we go 15 straight hours here, I'll get it up by maybe Wednesday, and then we'll surprise him with an upload.
Honestly, I think Menners is anti-American. So that's what this is about.
That's probably true. He does hate us, the little fella. I would love to be on the network at some point. That would be great if he would allow it, but we'll see. Wherever this is going to be, I'm excited to be back with you guys and to talk about this podcast and all the craziness that goes with it. I think we should probably, right off the top, hey, let's just talk about the best stuff here. And that debacle that it was. We could talk thoughts, random thoughts, execution, timeline, whatever you want to do. I need one of you, and I think Ziggy will be the guy. Because I think you're a Coleman guy, Ziggy.
Yeah.
Can you defend your boy Coleman?
First off,
I need you to. Please.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a trademarked Cole man. I think I am the one and only, at least for now. Yeah, I mean, obviously he messed up. Like, he knows that. I think it's funny because he made a big mistake. The mistake being he just didn't realize when to drop it, and it's a mistake because now we know. Like, didn't go back, look at the previous drop dates. Like, you got to know that. And that mistake just got compounded because Kirk felt the rumblings of the Minifans. Kirk doesn't care when it's really dropped. He just sicked us all on them, and it was just game over from there. So it was like one mistake really from Coleman. Yeah, like his wasn't perfect. It was too long, all that. But it was one mistake that just snowballed because then they're all rushing and while they're all getting tweeted at. And yeah, I mean, Coleman's cut, I will say Coleman's cut was better. It was no duck soup cut, but Coleman's cut was better than Gus's. But yeah, it was just, I don't know how you don't like plan ahead. I guess it's just the 23-year-old is the best excuse, not a great excuse, but yeah.
What I love, Sheldon, I know you're a working man. You work for a living. We don't.
No.
At what point do you think Coleman realized on his luxurious Harry Potter vacation that did he realize that probably people are working maybe on December 26th or 27th? Like, we're not everyone in the world is just getting 2 weeks off or a week off after Christmas. You know what I mean? So what do you think? When do you think he realized these things?
I don't think he realized it until Wednesday. And I mean, there was tweets on Tuesday. And the thing about it is he did work for Barstool. And if you subscribe to any Barstool podcast, the best of this week always drops the day after Christmas. And
Correct.
like, he didn't even have a thought to have it out by then. So like, there was already Barstool Radio, Spittin' Chicklets, all that. And there's no KMS. And his plan from the get-go was to release it on the 29th, which does us no fucking good.
Right.
It's already the weekend.
Right.
We wanted to listen to it at work.
And we don't need to go deep into this because I know it's been discussed, but there's no way that's his actual plan. He was just, here's what I think, and I need to get your opinions on this, boys. I think that he set it up where he had Josh, he had Nicholas, which Nicholas sounds lovely.
He sounds like Josh. I thought it was like a Manti
he's-
Te'o situation going on. Where
I know, but he
Coleman's
also
getting
there's something
catfished.
about him. There's something about him that just sounds fabulous. You know, he sounds fabulous. So Nicholas, Nicholas, Josh, and Gus, he had planned to all work on this thing. This is what I think. This was his master plan that he hasn't said yet, obviously. I think he had these guys he was hoping that these guys would work on this thing while he went on vacation. And then when he would come back, he would just put it all together. He put it all together very quickly, and then it would be out there. And then when all three of them didn't come through for him, he scrambled. That's what I think.
The only thing I'm going to say about the best of anymore, hold on, is I would love to know exactly what they did during the week Kirk was in Chicago. Because the whole point of that, like, it should have been done. Why would you go to Disney and be like, yeah, I was going to edit it at night? You already had a million opportunities. That's what I don't get.
I think they probably worked on it during that week in Chicago, but they were like maybe just fine tuning. Like Gus said, he was listening to episodes. Yeah, sure, on 2x speed, but like you need to see from the whole picture. Okay, we want whatever 6 hours, 7 hours. Okay, how many segments? Okay, we need these segments. It's going to be this amount of time per segment. Here's how we're going to get it. Instead of just like, all right, I'm going to just start listening to an episode. So they probably did work on it, but they just did like really poor planned work and just really inefficient. As far as the vacation, I do think like Coleman was going to like finish it all on vacation. And I just have to say, Mike made such a big deal about Coleman lying, like who does that on vacation? What kind of vacations is Mike going on? Is he like hangover, getting drunk, stuck on the roof of a casino? Like some people go on vacation, they do their thing in their day, they relax at night. Maybe for Coleman, it's listening to KMS, cutting it up. Like, I don't think that's that crazy of a thought. Mike was like flabbergasted by it, but yeah. And we know Coleman is a tinkerer. Like the vlogs, rest in peace, they were at least very like a lot of jump cuts and zooming in and throwing in, like very well put together. And Coleman said that he did cut back. Like he went back and he snipped up his 5 hours. It was probably 7. So I don't think put your finger down. You talk.
Right,
I don't think that he was like half-assing it. I just think he wasn't on Gus's ass, Nick's ass. Well, I'll let you make that joke, Red. But
He shouldn't have to be on Gus's ass. Gus is in his 30s. It's a full-time job. He's not 12. I'm so tired of his excuses for Gus. Well, he needs to be told what to do. He needs his handheld, this and that. He's a goddamn adult. Okay? I fucking feed cows and turn wrenches for a living. All he does is cut up clips. That's not even his job. I know that's not what his job is supposed to be. He doesn't even know that. Why would you have to hold his hand through all this? It's insane.
Well, yeah, but okay, but I also want to go back to RIP the vlogs. How many vlogs were there? Were there 3? It was a long-standing edition. It was wonderful. It was an epic.
He probably cut off more than he could chew on that one. But you live and learn. I mean, I think he'll bring them back. He'll probably bring them back. They were good. That does.
I hope so.
I mean, he's clearly like video first. Like that's why the whole MP4, MP3 debate, like that definitely made the issue way worse because again, they were trying to upload a video file. It just takes like not twice as long, like 10 times as long. So I think it just goes back to like the main focus should be the show, the podcast, the RSS feed. Focus on that. The other stuff, if you have time for it, get it done, but it shouldn't be a priority. It shouldn't take place of the main show. The main show.
And I do like the vlog, so I hope that he can find it within himself to maybe hire a couple more interns without Kirk knowing, obviously, but hire a couple more interns and get that done. That would be great. Also, too, to go back just on the mic thing, when I had my finger up, I need, whether it's you two or the Minifans out there, to go back and listen because Mike sounded like he had a hell of a time in San Diego or Cincinnati, wherever he was. He sounded worse than Sheldon after 3 packs of cigs, man. Like he
was in Cleveland.
You could hear the vacation in his voice.
He was in Cleveland.
I
mean, exactly. That caller nailed it. Why would she take you to San Diego? You wouldn't know.
That's true.
He was in Cleveland.
And correct me if I'm wrong. We can move on from the best of, but correct me if I'm wrong. Did Josh call in? When he called in, did he say that Gus's recommendation or want was that the interns, whoever the interns are in the future, they're going to handle the best of in the future? So before Gus was suspended, he was already coming out with ways to delegate work that he was supposed to be doing.
He shouldn't be delegating anything.
Yeah,
Well-
it's kind of missing the forest of the trees. Is that the right saying? I don't know. But they're like, I think what happened is, yeah, they messed up the best of, but the issue wasn't they messed up the best of. It was they messed up a big like KMS product, event, whatever you want to call it, project. Like that doesn't mean, okay, we get started on the best of for next year. It just means the next time we have a big thing to do, we need to work better. So it's like, yeah, it's not a best of issue. It's just a larger.
Honestly, I'm done with the best stuff. Move on.
No, because I do
I
have
don't
one
wanna
more
talk about
point.
it.
I do have one more point.
Oh, sure, it's great.
There's little inside information. I said I'm a coal man. I still am. So I'll let you guys kind of decipher like how to take this. But so at Papa Gino's, I was at the cool kids table with Coleman, not Kirk, not Carabas, not
What
Gus,
about Julie?
not Julie, not the A-listers, the cool kids table. And my whole table, we were going back and basically telling Coleman all the previous best of failures. So that is kind of a bad like thing. It's kind of a bad look for Coleman. Like he did have a heads up. That was, I don't remember when that the Papa Gino's was, like December 17th, maybe December 8th. I don't know. However, we weren't like, oh, the best stuff sucked and we're so mad and we're still so mad. It was kind of like a funny thing. So I could see like, well, okay, maybe it doesn't really matter. Like maybe the attitude was, well, it doesn't really matter how it comes out as long as it comes out and it's just going to be a topic on the show. So I don't know, but he definitely was aware that the previous best ofs were like total shit shows. So he doesn't have that excuse.
Right.
It's probably meant he
Totally.
really should have gone back and like investigate like why were they so bad. But he definitely got the full history at Papa Gino's.
I consider you a big J journalist,
Yes.
Ziggy. You're one of the best in the business. That's true. So I need to ask you this, and you can tell me as much as you can. What else was happening at Papa Gino's there? You know some things because there had to have been some other things going on there, some inside details, some things. I know you put your phone away, but come on, give us the deets. Let's go.
I don't know. I mean,
Let's go.
First off, I came in late. That was like for someone that has social
Of course.
anxiety and overanalyzes, I was just beyond petrified to walk into 20, 30 people just staring at me with the mask on.
Of course.
It was just, yeah. So, and then the one seat, so Kirk's back is towards the door and there's one empty seat next to him. And I think what I said was like, please tell me this isn't the only seat. And he said, no, there's some over there. And I was like, thank God. And I just kept walking because like, I didn't want to sit next to Kirk. So that was, yeah, but I can't go into the details that he gave us. There were some jokes made that pushed the envelope, like some that he hints at on the show that he really went for it. So that was kind of fun.
Okay.
But I cannot, I promised blood oath will not share what you really want to hear.
Okay. All right. Okay. Do we want to hit the Coleman, Gus, future, the producer role?
Yep.
Here's my concern. I know that Coleman's going to be sticking around. I get that. I have no doubt that Gus is on the way out. Either way, whoever comes in is going to be another phenomenal liar. Ziggy, you're somebody who tracks the lies of many producers, one in particular anyway. This is your prime. You're back, man. If you want this, like you've got producers
it's
ripe
like
for the picking.
Shooting
How
fish in a barrel with Gus with the lies. Coleman, I trust him. I think he's pretty truthful for the most part. He does admit some stuff that, like the no masturbation thing, like he knows he's going to get made fun of. So I don't know. Do you make that up? Would you lie about it for him too? I don't know. That's old Ziggy. Maybe is a good way to put it.
Okay.
It wasn't a bit.
All
it
right.
wasn't a shtick going after Steve. We know that Abe Lincoln never told a lie. George Washington never told a lie.
Ever.
So I didn't really want to go
forgot.
after him. No, I mean, we all know Gus is a liar. Gus admitted he was a liar. So there's like nothing. It's like, okay, now what do we do with it? He said himself, like, yeah, I lie. I lied to my dad growing up all the time. I lie now.
I guess that's my biggest frustration during that episode is at no point did Gus further the show, actually show like real emotion, get mad at anyone. Everybody's calling him a liar in the episode multiple times. He's not pushing back on anybody. So each time he gets called out for this stuff, he doesn't actually further anything in the show. He doesn't further a joke in any way. He doesn't get any conflict going either. So as much as like they're punching him, he's not hitting back, and he's not making it better. He's not making it funnier either. I just don't. Sheldon, where are you at with this, with these two, with Coleman, with the future? What do you think is going to happen here with the next couple weeks?
I don't think Gus is back. I still can't figure out how he hasn't understood what his role is. But when they ask him what he's doing, it's always cutting clips. What clips? I don't even know what the fuck they are.
And he can't even play them. He can't play the clips.
And no, I mean, I just don't get it. So I think unless his pitch is amazing, which, okay, I don't think he's coming back. I think Coleman's coming back, but Kirk looks at him different. But he can probably hard work his way back into his good graces if he just does his job. And
does your boy Montante does he close this deal, Sheldon? Does your boy Montante close this deal and he's on the show? Do you think that's going to happen?
I think before November 2024, I think Montante is going to be in there. I mean, his pitch today in text was terrible, and I think he knows that because he can't fucking word anything right. But I think he's actually going to be in there if he can make it work.
This is what's going to tick me off. I know where Ziggy's going to go with this is going to bother me. I know it. You can't tell me that it's not a fascinating look into the mind of Montante that he will call his friends that he just met, I guess, about this show. He'll talk to them for hours on end, right?
Mhm.
And he'll be calling Mick all the time, right? When he's trying to track him down, he'll get on every show known to man to talk about this show, and yet, like he can't then take this job and like fulfill his obsession that we're all obsessed with the show. I don't understand why he can't just do that. Like financially, he'll figure it out. He'll make it happen, and he'll make more money later on. But if he wants to be doing this for a living, I think he could on this show. And it's an obsession for him. I don't understand why he can't do that.
I honestly think it's because it's his mother's involved too with her not paying taxes. I think it just is all coming back to like, this has got a lot of stuff going on. Otherwise, I think if it was just him and his girlfriend who talks terrible too, I think he would be out here already.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone, at least from the producer search, is gonna come on the show and then make their way to Barstool, like it would probably be Montante. Not that he wouldn't care about KMS, but like he is kind of the Barstool mold, like a degenerate.
Totally.
Can't
From New
speak, can't
Jersey.
read, from New Jersey, like does have the Jersey Jerry in him, but he is very sensitive. Like you have to remember. So I do think, like it is too bad
He's
he
not
didn't draw out the like Kirk gave him a shot today to come in or to take another crack at
To
like
come in, he
producer.
lives in a different state.
Well, but to make another effort, like to give him a second chance, and he just sent him a DM.
He
like you can't even.
type.
Hey,
Leave him alone.
Hey, let me talk. He couldn't even call. He couldn't even call the show to do that. Like sending a DM is kind of a pussy move. And I think it's a little bit like we'll get to Mick later. It's the same thing. Like they just can't be the butt of the joke. Like if you remember, Montante was on Cloud 9. He shaved his beard. Kirk made fun of him, and then he was like a puddle. So I don't know.
That's true.
I like Montante.
No, it's not true.
It's
Mick and Montante are not the same. Stop it.
Sheldon, hold on.
We do know Sheldon.
Man.
Sheldon is on the speed dial, and
Yep.
It's not true. I texted him and called him a slut bag today.
Sheldon's on the speed dial,
Sheldon.
and he's actually been on the speed dial for more than one name, right, Sheldon?
Whatever.
Sheldon, could you explain to me why his then compromise was to come up to Massachusetts 3 days a week?
I didn't understand.
And not even in a block schedule. He's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So
Yeah.
he's just gonna go. Does that make any sense at all?
It makes sense in his head, and I'm gonna believe him. Okay?
Okay.
I believe him more than Gus at this point.
He's just a big fan. What is the Mare Parkway through Connecticut? He's just a big fan of riding that 2-lane.
What the hell would I know? I'm from North Dakota.
I wasn't talking.
Yeah,
to
you'd
you.
have no idea.
Yeah.
You'd have no idea.
One thing,
yes.
I just got to go back
please.
because you mentioned Gus earlier. Gus in Tuesday's show when they're going over the best of, I think that came up, like, why aren't you fighting back? And Gus said he's non-confrontational by nature. And that's an issue if your role on the show is to be the person that goes out and, like, Mike made a funny point. He was like, I was close to getting fired. And what did I do? I went to a library and I harassed Dan Kennedy, which is just like,
So
if I'm close to getting fired, I meet with HR. They put me on a 90-day plan. I meet with my boss. How am I going to succeed? Gus doesn't, I don't know if he's self-admitted non-confrontational, and the role of that B producer is to, like, go out, man on the street, be confrontational. Like, you kind of need that. And that, I do like Gus, but that is kind of a red flag. If he's not fighting back, he needs to fight back. I hope he does on Monday, but I don't know.
I like Gus too, but I know what his role is supposed to be. He doesn't, and he has the damn thing. Like, cutting clips is not his fucking job. Justin drove to Delaware and didn't get paid for it. That should have been Gus.
Well, but let us not please just blame Gus for this, because Coleman obviously needs to help him and delegate and direct
I already
him.
responded to this. I'm not doing this.
I don't.
again.
But
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you, Red, as a clip.
when you're the A producer, you have to delegate and direct the
I
B
think he
producer.
knows. I think he knows that.
Whether Gus is, I mean, Gus is a very nice guy. He's got the wettest brain there is, and he will be a mail carrier very soon, I'm sure, if not a Walmart greeter. And no disrespect to our mail carriers out there, but, like, that's what he's going to be. So this is what he is. This is his lot in life. That's why I don't know why anybody is surprised that he messed up. Anybody who has any expectations for him other than to be an idiot, you're going to be sadly mistaken. Like, it's just not going to work for you.
If I had all day, I'd go and pull all the clips where he's like, "Yeah, I understand. I'm going to change." Because I guarantee it's over 10 times in the last 4 months.
The whole point of the shock collar was it'll train him. It'll be used to train him to change. And yeah,
then he should wear it every day.
It would be funny if he came in with his pitch was like, I'm going to wear a shock collar.
Honestly, I don't even care at this point. I don't even care. So.
Do you think that Coleman was, I mean, yes, he was throwing Gus under the bus, but was it, like, intentional, or was that just his nature? I know.
No,
Red,
I don't think it was intentional.
I bet Red, I think you probably think it was intentional, not to put words in your mouth, but
I definitely think it was intentional. Yes. Now listen, am I a Coleman guy? I don't know yet. I'm still feeling these things out, but you could definitely, there's a lot of Steve Robinson there, which I'm surprised Ziggy is not on top of this. Maybe I have a better snout for this now. I don't know, but there's a lot of Steve Robinson with Coleman and what he does.
So on,
and how he
examples, proof.
Example. He's very
okay.
sneaky.
What's next? Yep.
He's very
that's
sneaky.
a good one. Yep. Next.
And how he gets Gus. He'll lay the blame there, but he'll do it in a kind way. He'll do his sad boy Drake little look, and he'll say, "No, I love Gus, but I had the expectations that this was going to happen, and that didn't happen, and that's on me.
Honestly,
that's on me."
I'm just getting mad now.
I'm just saying.
I'm very version Ziggy 2.0, very unbiased. I will say Coleman used a lot of, like, well, in my segment, in my portion, like what the clips that I cut, he was distancing himself a little bit. He also, my wife will say, I'm the master of this. I'm sorry, but like that was coming out a little bit.
Yes.
So.
And let us not forget, okay, Fabulous Nicholas. I love him. He's a great guy. I guarantee you those two have spoken and they are on the same page. And as long as Nicholas lies today, which that sounded like a lie to me, as long as Nicholas lies to Kirk and says that, I really wasn't in charge of the best of, I didn't have to do this. Like, why would Josh lie about that? It makes more sense.
Josh doesn't know what's going on.
What do you mean Josh doesn't know what's going on?
He doesn't even listen to the show. Are you serious?
But on that phone call, Sheldon, on that phone call, he very clearly states that Nicholas is part of this. He's in the text chat.
So
that means
I'm sorry we don't get
no.
Fucking impressions.
But what's more likely to happen, Sheldon? What's more likely to happen? That Josh would lie about this, or that Nicholas would lie about this to save Coleman? Because I guarantee you this. I guarantee you that Coleman delegated his part to actually part 3, whatever it was, I guarantee you he delegated that to his boy Nicholas while he was, you know what I mean? So like, I know that he's lying in that. I know that he is. There's no reason for Josh to lie.
You can't
There's
just
no
say, "Do you
reason.
know what I mean?" and then assume we know. We're 25 minutes in. We haven't gotten to the Mick saga.
No.
So
Okay.
It's
All right.
Red's
Okay.
fault. Red's fault.
All right.
someone will take the
Okay, well,
hosting
you guys-
duties. That's fine.
All right. You guys can defend him all you want. We're going to come back to this later on.
I'll take over as host. It's fine. Sheldon,
Oh, yeah,
Red,
that's
Sheldon, Red. Did your opinions of Mick change after he had the biggest blow up in KMS history? Did your opinions of him change from before he had the biggest blow up to after he had the biggest blow up? Red, you go first.
Okay. Thank you. If I may have the floor. Here's my biggest frustration with Mick, and it's my biggest frustration with Daver. And this is why I have changed completely from a Mick man, a Mick maniac, whatever the fuck it is. Mick has no ability to understand the opportunity that he had in the palm of his hands. I think everyone would agree that he had this job. All he had to do was get through this week. I'm sure he would have said, "Hey, Kirk, if you need me every day next week, whatever you need, I'll be there." He could have been there next week. He could have covered this thing and then been handed this job on a platter, because we all know that Gus is not going to be here. It makes no sense for him to do this when the day before he said he was going to do it for free, and now he's going to go on Beyond Average. Why would he ever go on Beyond Average now and do that show? Why continue it? What's the point to give us that? Nobody's going to, and then people will listen to that, and then it's going to be over. He's not going to be a part of KMS at all. Like he's just going to drift away. He's doing a meaningless podcast, making no money doing it. For what reason? What's the purpose? He had a job with KMS and Barstool right there and in his lap, and he let it go. It's insane.
It was pretty funny where he was like, "I cannot keep coming in here without anything on the horizon." And meanwhile, the horizon is like a giant sign, a billboard that says, "You have a very, very, very good chance of this job in 2 weeks. Like, just be patient." And he just kept going back like, "I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this." When all Kirk said was like, "Get me a water." Like, that was it. He just, I don't know.
That was it. His foot was literally in the door.
Yeah.
All he had to do was get this thing across the goal line. He couldn't do it. Sheldon. It's fucking madness.
I have no idea what the hell he was talking about yesterday, because like he contradicts himself so much. Like, he had it. It was his. And he just lost his fucking mind yesterday, and I don't know why.
So somebody definitely got to him.
Someone got to him. We don't have the whole story, and they won't tell why. And I'm not sure at this point why you wouldn't say what it is, because you just said today that you didn't want the job, even if he offered it. So just tell us what happened. It doesn't matter.
As a listener of a show, all I want is for you guys to give me the dirt, give me the gossip, explain these things. And for whatever reason, it's all like vague little things that he's saying, that this happened, more happened here, this, whatever. And he never actually says it. It's like Daver, just say that, land the plane, motherfucker, land it.
Honestly, if it comes because it was about those donuts in December that Coleman didn't say thank you, that's even fucking crazy.
Donuts were Mick's rosebud. Like, he just could not. He just kept going back to the disrespect from Coleman. And I actually went back and listened to the donut segment, and Mick did say, like, yeah, I did a lot of research on the best donut place around. So those donuts meant a lot to Mick. And they were just trampled on. They were spat out by Coleman when he didn't apparently say thank you loud enough. I would be remiss to not show, fresh off the press, I survived Mick's walkout 2023. Get yours, muttstack.com. Great email today that came into my box. Just snow, baby.
Into your box.
No more bread. Into my box. Came right into my box.
I'm not gonna address that, because we could go down there. That's gonna.
The other thing was the Horizon thing was funny. The other thing was when he was like, he just kept going like, beginning of the producer search to Thursday morning, I will work for free, Kirk. I will do anything for the show. I will work for free, Kirk. And then the next day he makes like a snide comment. Kirk's like, fine, what do you want, $100? He's like, the money is the last thing that I want. He's just the flip flop. could take a step back and say, this is just entertainment. I wasn't really a Mick guy. He just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but it was very entertaining. He just can't, I don't know. I didn't want him to come back in because part of me was like, it gets my blood pressure going. Like I cannot deal with him all the time. But then when
my blood pressure up.
When he did like leave, I wanted him today to actually say like, fine, I'll do it again. Because Kirk just was really leaving that door open for him. And he just would not even step in.
I like Mick. I just like, I'm crazy, but he's crazy, and his crazy I don't understand. So I mean, whatever's in his head, it makes sense to him. God bless him.
I hope, all that I hope is that he joins the HVAC mogul business that his family has. I think that'll turn out well for him. I can't see a future in this business when he has an opportunity to work at Barstool and he turns it down. If you're gonna ruin that dream shot that you have to work at Barstool in KMS, if you're gonna ruin that, then why even talk into a microphone anymore? Like the three of us are sitting here, we love a podcast and we love talking about it. We have no aspirations. Maybe Sheldon does. Maybe Sheldon does. Sheldon wants to get to Chicago and shoot some hoops, I'm sure. But for the rest of us, we have no aspirations for any of that. We just want to talk about a podcast that we love. But he does that. Oh yeah, you go. Oh, there you go. There you go. Get your little swing on. There you go. I just don't understand. I don't understand the whole thing. He's been doing that podcast for a while now, wasting his time. I don't know.
You got to remember, Mick.
I feel bad.
Mick he's a stand-up guy, and he's just not going to work for a show that goes against his core beliefs. He's just not going to do it. I don't know what the core beliefs of KMS are, but Mick is not working for those core beliefs.
I will say this. He apologized to Justin today. He should have apologized to Mayo. Mayo was so scared. I guarantee he's still scared. And he should have apologized to Mayo on the air.
I know we have random notes that we have to get to, and I know that Mayo is going to be in quite a bit of those notes. I do have to say it was wonderful to go 90 minutes before he started to make everything about him.
He actually made Mayo look good, Mick, which is unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's tough for Sheldon.
I fucking hate this.
Anything else with the Mick saga? Because I got some questions for you guys.
Got my donuts as Mick's Rosebud point out. Had to get that.
I will say this.
That was a good one. That was a great joke.
I think Ziggy counted on, or already said this, but like I was gonna listen to his next episode, but that call ruined it for me. He basically said everything. So what else is there unless he's gonna drop something that would actually happen that he didn't say and Daver couldn't fucking say.
And he couldn't say. And they had all the opportunity, he had multiple opportunities to actually say it over and over.
Yeah, no, I know I probably won't listen. So
all right. So Ziggy,
yep.
I've got a question for you. We've already touched on one of the questions I had for you. You've come up on the show quite a bit in our absence from the rundown.
Haven't noticed.
Once in a while you've come up or you've been hinted at. There's been things about you being a source, maybe a source for Kirk, right? I have to ask the question. When Kirk said that he had multiple people sending him, information on Gus and Gus's pitch, you can deny if you need to. I just need to ask: have you been a source for Kirk recently?
Have I been a source for Kirk in the past? No, I've never been. I've actually never been. I don't even know if his DMs are open. So no, I never have. No, I wouldn't send. That's, I don't know. I have heard the rumor mill is strong. I have heard some things, not stuff that I would muddle and let you.
I trust you.
Yeah.
I trust you. I know that there's probably many people who have gotten information from him.
I really only badmouth Mayo to Kirk. That's like the only reason I DM. That's like just to dig the shiv into.
Who among us would do that? I mean, come on. Okay, all right. So not a source. No. I'll hold you to that.
I'm shallow thrower, just like David. I'm not shallow thrower like David, rather.
Okay. I've got a question for Sheldon. Ziggy, you can chime in on this if you want to. Sheldon, I'm going to put you on the spot. I believe that Craig is a friend of ours. I think we're all Craig friends or fans at the very least.
I've heard of him.
Craig Oconee expressed interest on, there was like a little vague tweet about him being a producer for KMS. Sheldon, do you think You think Craig would be a good fit as a producer for the Kirkman and show?
No, Mike has
No?
tried to give him to Kirk a million times, and every time Kirk's like, "No, I wouldn't do that to you," which he would if he wanted Craig. I love Craig, but there's no fucking way.
Disagree.
Right? There's no way,
Disagree.
Ziggy. There's no way that would be a good
Craig
fit.
is the king of Mittman Empire. He's not stepping down from that throne to come to.
Yeah,
KMS.
have you heard of
would-
Mittman, Red? Why would he leave?
Well, I mean,
It would be very funny for
he doesn't have
Craig.
Jerry's show to do right
I
now.
think Craig should produce one episode if the opportunity is there. I mean, hopefully Coleman's not going anywhere anytime soon. But
Mittman
I
is
do-
the Trump of Massachusetts. Okay.
I do
Well-
like Craig. I have a soft spot for that idiot, but Kirk hates him.
I-
Which would be great. I think it'd
love
be
him.
funny if you're in for an episode.
I love
but no,
Craig.
It's not going to happen.
I don't know if Craig could take those punches. I don't know if he could.
I love
But
Craig, except
love
he's
him.
a redhead, so I
Wow.
mean it can go either way.
Wow, that hurt me. Okay, all right, fine. Sheldon, I'm coming right back to you.
What are you, Kevin? Asking me a million questions?
Yeah, I got another question. I got two more for you. Here's the categories. It's feed, breed, or put out to pasture. Mayo, Steve from Gloucester, and Snell.
Jesus.
Feed, breed, and put out to pasture. Go ahead. I know you love all three of those guys.
We're gonna feed Snell, just
Okay.
because whatever.
Okay. You want to keep him around? You want to know more about his Bangor ladies that he's hooking
Yeah,
up
I don't
with?
want
Is
to
that
see how
what-
many waitresses he's taken into the woods and banged lately, like he did last time. And then
How dare you? Bangor is a metropolis.
Yeah,
Okay,
sounds like
don't
it.
do this.
the
To
only
us.
person from Bangor that's worth anything is Julie the Cat Gaffney, and she was in D2. Okay?
That's true. That's
So-
good reference there. Yeah.
Well, I got Mayo's going out to pasture. I'm fucking killing him. Back of the head.
Okay.
Fucking shooter. He can run for me with his goddamn breaking out a window in his office, but I'll get him.
You think he can pull that off? Do you think he can get out of that window, break that window? You think he can do it?
No, not a chance.
Mayo
No, he doesn't have the upper
Mayo
body strength.
taking credit for hundreds of thousands of kids' lives saved from mass
It's
shootings
unfucking
by
believable.
just inventing the I forget fight or flight, like run. I don't remember what it is, but whatever
I
he
love-
suggested
yeah, that's
made
good.
its way,
gotta save it.
trickled all the way through the public schools of the United States. And he's a
Stop,
hero. He's a
stop,
hero among
stop,
us.
Stop. You're just making his head bigger. Stop.
I gotta save it. Okay, so all right, so I'm gonna save it for the random notes. So Steve from Gloucester. I don't know what Italian
Yeah, I don't think
is
Sheldon
for
even
breed.
did Sheldon even answer.
Or what was it? Or
Well,
you're gonna
interrupted me. Who would have thought?
all right, so you're gonna breed Steve from Gloucester.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
he's Italian.
motto.
There's probably good food there. So
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's good with me. Mayo's done. He's dead.
okay.
He's
All
out.
right. So and then last question again, Ziggy, you can hop in on this too. The best third chair Minifan. What's your choice for the best? Who do you like the most, Sheldon? And who do you hate the most?
So can I
'Cause you got a lot of hate in
clarify?
your
This is something I'm not very smart. When we say third chair now, is it still it's Kirk? It's both producers are two, and then it's like the first guest, because you can't really have a third chair now. There's always most of the time three guests. Two guests
I don't
plus the
count
producer.
producers as any chair. They're producers.
Well, I'm here's how I take it, and maybe I'm wrong because I've heard this before. I take it as Mike is the second chair.
Okay.
Like that's so when you're talking about the third chair, you're talking about somebody other than Mike who's rotating through there. That's how I take it. I don't know if that's anyway. So I'm thinking third chair, Minifan, somebody coming in. Who do you love the most? Who do you hate the most?
Is this a question for me?
No, it's wow.
And if you want to add in somebody you'd like to see in the future, I'm good with that because we haven't really chimed in on this stuff since they've had people rotating through. So I thought this was a good question.
Honestly, I enjoy Spider Daver. Like I can't help it. I like him, and I like when Montante's in.
I'm with you.
Yellow Shirt guy was pretty good.
He was pretty good. He
But
had
he
his
just-
moments. What I will say about Daver, what I really like is not only the Kirk, which when they called today, he
Oh,
had to
so
get his Kirk in there, which is good. But Daver's also got a little hip hop in him. He's got a rapper essence in him, where he's like the fifth rapper on stage. So every time the lead MC, which would be Kirk, says something funny or interesting, then Daver does the repeat of it,
Yeah.
where he just repeats it back and laughs. It's my favorite.
Did
It's
you
my
catch
favorite.
did you catch the Tony Walnuts, like Daver told the joke when Kirk was in the bathroom, and then Kirk comes back and he repeats it for him? It would have
Yep.
been like a good joke.
Yeah.
But
I
you
do
would
the
have said
same
T.
thing.
It's the best. It's the best. It's just like Pete and repeat.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
great.
because like when like Daver and Montante are in, it still flows, and like, God, there's been so many. I hate so many, but I
Sheldon's on
like
top.
those two. in.
Sheldon's on top of his game tonight, I will say.
I like, yeah, oh yeah, big time. I know who I hate.
Oh,
but I'll
well-
pass it off. I'll pass it off to Ziggy if he wants to go.
I mean, I'm a Mayo guy, and I
Oh, Jesus
worship at
Christ.
the altar of the Drip Lord. So those are my two guys. I'm a weird brain like Mayo, so I appreciate that, and I like how much it pisses people off. I don't like how people are now like pro Mayo. It seems sometimes, I don't know.
I like Drip
yeah.
Lord because he keeps it all flowing.
Yeah, he picks his spots
Like-
for sure.
Yeah, he's good
It's
for
a
that.
fact.
Yeah, and I'm
That's a fact.
Sorry,
Yep,
if you ask
go
who I
ahead.
hate, I don't hate anyone. If you know anything about me, there's definitely no one I hate.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, people always say Julie. That would be a top one, but I don't know. That feels like chalk saying that answer. I don't know. I don't hate anyone. I'm a lover.
Okay. Well, listen. If we're not going to be honest here, then it is what it is.
I just
But I'm
Yeah.
going to say
I wasn't prepared for this question.
I'm going to say it. I love the Drip Lord. Only because he seemed to bully Mayo like out of the world for a little while,
Yeah.
which was great.
It
He
was
like
awesome. I love
somehow
the Drip Lord for
he
that.
was the alpha, which I don't know if the Drip Lords ever felt that way, but he was the alpha at Mayo. Mayo was clearly the beta.
Mayo
the one
is a beta.
the one I hate the most, and I don't care. You can be male, female, whatever. Julie is the worst. She is the absolute worst, and it has nothing to do with anything other than she just doesn't get the show. Like she's not like she takes things personally. She keeps going through on these chats and trying to get like inside, and she's trying to get like inside to get in the good graces and never have anything bad said about her. And she just kind of wants to like giggle around, and like
Yeah.
I just don't feel like she has a good feel for the show. And it has nothing to do. Again, I don't care, male or female.
We'll just chalk.
I just-
She's a newer listener, and it's a lot of like repeat. It's just going to the low hanging fruit references
Yeah.
and jokes, which I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
you're
kind of
a
my biggest gripe
misogynist.
with
We get it, Red. But like Mayo literally after yesterday had a fucking make it about himself. Kirk, are you into gardening? Do you listen to the show, Mayo? You fucking idiot. He doesn't cut his own grass. Do you think he gardens, dipshit? Oh my god.
I would turn around and throw it back at you. Do you listen to the show? Do you understand the show? That's why it's funny, because it's just Mayo
it's
being
hilarious,
Mayo.
Ziggy. It's so funny. He comes in with his notebook.
Hey, you're
'cause
mad.
he
It's
takes
funny.
note apps. Oh, fuck you.
I do remember
Oh.
that guy, Coach. I don't know if you remember him. Probably the worst
yeah.
guest of all time. Like he once went on a 10-minute rant or 5-minute rant of just like kids these days, coaching these days. Kirk totally was checked out of the conversation. Just like, yep, oh yeah, yep, agree. Checking his phone. That guy was not. That guy was terrible.
That guy was not good. And there's a guy who calls in still. He calls in on a bad line. I can't remember his name, but he was like the guy who lives in Watertown who got there like short notice during the Cullinane era. He got there on short notice. He lives in Watertown. And he's got this annoying kind of voice where he kind of sounds like he's getting under people's skin. And he calls in every once in a while, and he has a bad line when he calls in. That guy is never talked about again. Nobody knows his name. I don't even know his name. I mean, Sheldon might nominate him for maybe Minifan of the Year or
He's
something
not
like that on a
Robert
list sometime.
Redford
But,
guy. This is bullshit.
but that guy he stinks. He stinks, and he's got to step up his game with his calls because his calls stink too.
Honestly, the
So-
best part about the show might be that Mayo's going to take all this seriously, and I'm suing him. And you're welcome, Mayo.
There you go. Blue collar against white collar. What are you gonna do?
Oh,
All right, so
fucker.
I kind of burned through my random notes here.
I'm just getting started.
Okay,
Buckle
all
up.
right. So I'm going to
Buckle
give you the ball. I'm going to
All
give
right.
you the ball and get out of the way. Yeah, buckle up. Here we
So
go.
we barely, I mean, shocking, we have not talked about Cullinane because we're all Cullinane guys. The only thing I'll really say, 9.5. I did miss hearing him say pain in the dick. Like that's something I really didn't realize that I missed in my life. And he said it, and it just all these emotions flooded back to me. Pain in the dick. Love you, Cully.
Speaking of pain in the dick, are you guys able to squeeze off some pee? Do you believe that story?
I didn't have an issue with it.
Are you serious? There's
No.
no fucking way he stopped in the middle. Oh, he's like, I got 25% left. You can't stop.
You ever hear of Kegels? Colleen is a marathoner in the sheets.
Oh,
he can just hold it. He can go for days. Kegels, honestly, that's the key. Mutt knows what I'm talking about.
Honestly, you're both pissing me off. This is bad. I don't like this.
Unless that's fine. If you want to doubt his pelvic power, you can.
No, I will say I have been there where you're peeing for too long, and it's like, like you flush early because you think you're going to time it, and then you just keep going. So you got again overthinking. Being an over anxious person, Dave's the same way. That's just overthinking.
And listen, Sheldon, you're probably young. I mean, maybe he's got a prostate thing he's got going on. You wouldn't know anything about that. You can't doubt this man. You know,
I'm young. Idea. I'm not young. I think I'm older than Dave.
Well, listen. Anyway, okay. All right. What else we got? Come on, let's go.
One thing, I don't know if you guys heard Kirk's like final message to Jersey Jerry before he hit the hole in one. You know, he gave a shout out to. He said, "Do it for Benelli." Do you remember that? Do you remember the Benelli after the? Is that South Carolina, the airport? Remember they were talking about doing a live show with Big Cat and Jersey Jerry. They met a guy like a guitarist in an airport. Anyway, just something, you know, the real hardcore listeners.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Picked up on. So I think that was the key to Jersey Jerry in the hole in one, which didn't get
well done.
24 hours later, that was the key.
Yep.
Damn it, I forgot about that. Well done.
Yeah, okay. I know. I'm an avid listener. I'm like you.
Okay.
All right, another one. They mentioned Justin driving to studio and Justin saying, "I'm going as fast as I can." Coming back from Madawaska, the summer one, so I guess Madawaska too. We passed Justin and Mike in the slow lane, and Justin, just like he looks at his computer screen, drives like an absolute grandma, like going 55 and a 65. I think I messaged Mike and I was like, "Could you guys go any slower?" And he wasn't too happy because he wanted to get home. But so the image of Justin like flooring it was probably like 41 and a 40. I don't know. That was kind of a funny thought.
You imagine the big dog,
and he has like a Civic or something, like a small car, clown car.
We're not gonna badmouth Civics, okay?
That's true.
My God.
Sheldon, you got any notes? Again, unfortunately, I had mine. I sprinkled all mine in here with my my wonderful jokes. Oh no, I do have one. I got one. And I'm going to pass it off. You guys, I want you two to think about this, and you people at home, think about this. Think about the person you love the most in the world, and then I want you to compare that and think: there's no way on earth you could love that person as much as Gus loves Gig. This bromance that these two have going on. I'm jealous. I wish anybody loved me as much as Gus loved Gig. Well, this is insane.
He was at Sheldon's wedding. I thought you were going the direction of Mayo, just like out of nowhere, deadpan. Do you ever think about your spouse as being paralyzed?
Oh, he's definitely taking his wife out to the woods and leaving her. That's what I got from that.
Yeah, she's gone.
That's like, I couldn't do it. And Kirk's like, well, you still have to work. You can have insurance and caregivers. And he's like, am I an asshole for thinking about this? Yeah, Mayo, you are an asshole for thinking about it.
The best Mayo for me this week was asking Kirk if he took Harry to go see Iron Claw, like where the four brothers all pass away, or however many, 3 or 4 of them that die. Like, hey, did you take Harry to that movie? Oh, is that a family movie? No, Mayo, it's not.
Well,
no,
Mayo secretly judges Kirk for bringing Harry to like Jackass 2 and all those horror movies.
Oh, totally.
He definitely judges him as a father.
As Mayo sending his wife to the basement to check on the noise because he's scared that Mick might be there with a gun.
Yeah, and as she goes down to the basement, he pushes her down the stairs to paralyze her.
Yeah. Well, they talked about Minifans. You wouldn't want to sit on it next to on a plane, and I was thinking Mayo he'd just be terrified of the terrorists, like storming the cockpit the whole time.
By the way, this is probably too personal, but I bet you Mayo has the worst farts ever. Just the worst. Just the worst. Anyway, continue. Go ahead.
I did appreciate him throwing, like, in the heat of, again, one of the biggest blow-ups, like back and forth. Credit to Mick for like holding his own, even though he's a lunatic going back and forth with Kirk. And then Mayo just are you hungry, angry, lonely, or was it tired?
Oh
Just
my
like getting his little psychology, self-help little.
He's not a
little,
fucking psychologist. He's not Tony Robbins. I mean, holy shit, dude. It's insane.
Hey, teamwork makes the team work. Okay, look there. That's my seminar. There, we just got that. You're welcome. Pay me my money.
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
There we go. I wonder how many quotes he could put on one of those posters with like the kitty or something that you get at the dentist. That would be great. What else you got, Ziggy?
Justin, a couple times if you remember, Steve used to like use some smart sounding word and then he would like bring it back into the rotation for a couple weeks at a time. That was symbiotic with Justin, and then he brought up he was like VP of fulfillment, right, for Science Serum. Like, how many times did he use symbiotic in his elevator pitch when he was pushing that snake oil? Like that.
Justin is a salesman. I need that. I need him out there slinging this stuff.
When Kirk's like, why didn't you just take
ABC,
the fucking
baby.
job? And he's like, I don't know. And then he's like, can I sell for the show? And it's like, what are you doing to us, Justin? Like, just be the fucking producer.
If I had my druthers, Justin would be 100% in that. In whether it's the B, probably not the A, the B, or like a permanent third chair. Like, he should always be in studio, in my opinion. He's texting Kirk like throughout the show, being a typical producer, like a great straight man.
I can see where he's coming from, though.
He's not like immediately shooting it down like he used to. I do think, I don't know. I don't know if the wheels are turning in his head, but I really hope that he does make an effort to think about coming back full time or having some more role, getting paid for it. But
of course, if only for moments like when Kirk asks him, how many donuts have you had, Justin? And you can hear him like chewing three or four. Yeah. It's like, okay, that's definitely 4.
I thought he said 3/4.
No,
I love Justin. And I was thinking back, like Justin. He had a pitch. I don't remember if it was to be full. It must have been his full-time pitch. And one of his pitches was KMS passports. Like, you got to bring the KMS passports back. That would be my, like, I want to go in on Monday and pitch Justin for the job.
That's what Gus should do. That would be Gus's best
for the
pitch.
Team, Gus.
100%.
Honestly, I already booked my flight. I'm going to go in and I'm going to prop up Will for the job. I've been studying my Pacino, and we are going to do hoo-ah the whole time. And then I'm going to wear pants that are too tight and tell the story how I split them.
Don't do this. You know, Will, I'm going to say it. Will is he's a nice change of pace. That's all that I'm saying. He is.
Oh, we never said that. Where's this coming from?
He is legitimately funny. That's all that I'm saying. Like, he's goofy. He wants to be funny. He's a nice person. Will's a good guy. He gets a bad rap, and he does a phenomenal impression of not only De Niro, but he can bang out some really good ones. What was the one that he had? Now I lost it. Now I lost the impression. Damn it.
It was so great you forgot.
Damn it.
So the answer read to your question a couple minutes ago is yes. Does someone love Gig more? Does someone love anyone more than Augustus loves Gig? Yeah, it's yes. It's you with Red is for the audience, the biggest Will fan there is.
The heart wants what the heart wants. I love you, Will. You're a good man. I don't care what they say.
He won't hear this. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's true. He has no idea. He has no idea what's going on. Oh. All right. What else?
Go ahead.
Here's a question. So if Gus doesn't come back, which doesn't look like he is, who do you think is the beat producer?
I honestly, bottom of my gut, think Mick is going to get another shot. Like, I think Kirk behind the scenes is going to, Kirk loves him. Like, he's given him as much as endorsement as you can give someone. He won't give him a job, but I think I could see Kirk reaching out behind the scenes and saying, like, buddy, like, you're really, like, legitimately throwing this away, an opportunity.
I hate to say this, but the dog might have a point, because he technically did kick him out of the producer search when he pissed him off that one day, and then he told him to come back in. So he's got a soft spot for Mick, but I just don't know if he will take working under Coleman.
Yeah, I don't think it would work well, to be clear. Like, I think it would just be the same thing. He'd leave again, but I think he's going to get another shot. Because I don't know what else unfortunately, I don't see it working with Gus. I'm rooting for him. He seems like a nice guy, but I just don't think he gets the show like he needs to. Montante, I'd be fine with Montante. I don't see it happening again unless he gets the sales stuff figured out. But
I think that's what's going to happen. I think it's going to be Montante because Gus just doesn't work hard. He's just not like I'm not going to diagnose this like Mama K, but I'll say that there's a saying in my line of work, and that saying is that dog won't hunt. Like that dog, he ain't getting off the porch. He ain't working. And that's no offense to you, Ziggy.
To be clear,
but that dog over there.
I don't want to go into what line of work you're in, but from what I understand, I don't know why that analogy would.
That's a common phrase. That's a common phrase when somebody. Okay. And also too, he's Mr. Fake Hustle. By the way, he's always working on something. He's always trying something. He's always doing. I'm doing this. I'm doing. And he's doing nothing. There's nothing going on.
He's cutting clips.
Honestly, when Kirk's like, yeah, I had that wrong. It's like I thought he was gonna work a lot harder than he did, but it's always cutting clips. It's not like he had me fooled too. So
has anybody been power washing, by the way, in that video game? What the hell is that?
I'm not even going to talk about this fucking video game shit. It's insane to me.
I have one more. Well, I have 2 more points. One, please. Though, Boner Salad. Maybe this is like the ultimate bearing the lead. Is Boner Salad Blind Mike's deodorant? Because Mike said that Boner Salad reached out to him and asked, does he sit when he pee? That is a question that Blind Mike's deodorant would ask. So I'm just throwing that out there. If it comes out, I said it first. I called it. I planted my flag.
That's a great poll.
Yeah.
That's a great poll.
And honestly, it aggravates me that he made that point. I don't like this.
Yeah, I hate this now. God damn. Let us not clip this. Nobody use this. Please don't.
As I throw my cat. The last thing, I just have to give a shout out to Mutt. He actually, bit aside, has been legitimately good on the show, dissecting what's going on in real time. The Mick stuff, he really broke down well. And if you go back to the Cullinane Christmas fiasco with Gus, that was a Mutt operation because Mutt was the first one. Was like, Gus, stop what you're doing. Bring that paper in here. Let us see it. That's really good instincts. Mike gets the show better than anyone, obviously, other than Kirk. I think Mutt gets it second, right up there with Blind Mike.
I love Mutt. He's great on the show. And obviously, I didn't listen to him or Kirk on EEI, but Mutt's great on the show. I'm going to go look at his Twitter now. Ziggy, you do the same. We'll look at it.
I have burners. I will say, seeing the tweet, I'm used to it. People in chats will send a tweet from Mutt, and I can't see it. I got to go into the burner. Doing that today when I saw the tweet about his shirt, in clicking on the picture and seeing that he tagged Andy Mayo in a picture, that honestly broke my heart. I didn't think that I could be hurt more than that.
Oh.
But
the only downside to doing this show with Ziggy, the only real downside is we'll never get Mutt on the show. Yeah. Regardless of whether we're on the network or not, he'll never.
I said I would be willing to step off screen, wearing my Mutt paraphernalia in the background, behind the stage, behind the scenes, but I'm willing to do it. Just
I want to be able to do the show, and I want to be able to do it with you here, and you can then every time we ask him a question, and then he answers, then I want you to be able to ask him to unblock you, and then we all just ignore you that you're talking, and you're just here on the show with us. That's what I want. That's my want. I want him on the show with you, and it just never happens. That's what I want.
The only thing I'd ask him is why? Why are you putting me through this torture?
It's got to be he doesn't hate you, but you drive him crazy. Kind of I don't hate Mayo, but he fucking drives me crazy. I'm sure he's a nice guy, and I'm sure Mutt thinks you're probably a nice guy, but you aggravated him, and he won't let it go. That's how I feel.
The truth is, he doesn't even know why he blocked me, and he's just doing it as a bit. So that's all right. I understand. I can respect the bit.
Sure, that's what it is.
Yeah, sure, that's what it is. Mutt is very good. Mutt and Mike are the only 2 people that I would say should be on weekly. Everybody else you could rotate through.
I don't even count them as third chair. I just count them as part of the show at this point.
True.
Until he gets the EI job, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and then he's gone.
All right.
All right. Anything else,
we're
boys?
at an hour, so
That's it. We're at a
I have
smooth
more
hour.
notes, but they're at the bottom of the barrel at this point. So
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We'll
Yeah,
save
me
that.
too.
Maybe for
I'll say it
beyond
again
average.
though. Donuts are Mick's Rosebud. Just making sure we get that clipped.
That's the third reference. We got it.
Yeah. Well, listen, we had a great show. I know Ziggy knows he had a great show, so we're screwed. That's it. Boys, I don't know when we're going to do this again, but we'll do this again. I don't know what our schedule is going to be.
This world or the
Maybe
next, we're doing it again.
We're going to do it again. So it's good to be back. 2024, the rundown. Thank you, boys.
See ya.
Peace.
Adios.